Who do you think you are? Liam Carter shouted, his voice splitting through the marble lobby like a whip. The sound made every employee flinch. Heads turned. Keyboards stopped clacking. Even the security guard in the corner paused mid-chew with a protein bar in his mouth. Liam jabbed a finger toward Emily Turner, the young janitor frozen beside her cleaning cart. You ruined a $10 million deal with your incompetence. Emily swallowed hard, her breath shaky. She stood so still she looked like she was bracing for an impact. I didn't ruin anything, sir. I just... Save it. Liam waved her off sharply. You spilled coffee all over the investor's briefing folder, then ran like a guilty child before anyone could stop you. Do you think this company is your playground? Emily shook her head fast, her eyes wide and wet. I didn't spill anything. I didn't even... Enough. Liam exploded. You janitors think you're invisible, but guess what? Today you're not. A crowd was forming. Junior employees peered from behind desk partitions. A group from the marketing floor whispered behind their phones. Someone began recording. And then, the glass doors of the lobby hissed open. David Beckham walked in. Not the glamorized red carpet Beckham the world knew. Not the stadium titan or the billboard icon. But the private man in a fitted coat, his expression composed yet sharp, eyes taking in every detail with instinctive precision. Most people didn't know he visited his own company incognito. They assumed he was always in London or Miami, but Beckham enjoyed walking surprise rounds, checking the workplace culture firsthand. Today he walked straight into a storm. The tension hit him the moment the doors shut behind him, like entering a room filled with static electricity. His gaze swept across the lobby, pausing on Liam's raised hand, then on Emily, small, trembling, clutching her cleaning cloth like a lifeline. Beckham's voice came out cool and level. Stop. The room went silent. Absolute, uncanny silence, like someone had hit mute on the world. Liam jerked around, startled. And Mr. Beckham. Sir, I didn't know you were coming today. We weren't expecting. Beckham walked forward slowly, hands in his pockets, each step steady but charged with authority. Clearly, he said, not breaking eye contact. And yet, I don't need an appointment to insist on basic dignity being shown to people under your supervision. Emily lowered her head, embarrassed. Not just because she was being yelled at, but because he was there. The last person in the world she wanted to see her like this. The boy she once loved, her first love, now a global icon. She hoped he would never recognize her. She prayed he wouldn't look too closely. He hadn't, yet. Beckham looked at Liam. Explain. Liam puffed himself up, gaining sudden confidence from the attention. This janitor has been careless for months. Today she finally crossed the line. She spilled coffee all over the briefing documents for the investors' meeting. These are very important clients, sir. This could damage the company's reputation. And she tried to run. Beckham turned to Emily. Is that true? Emily's throat bobbed and she opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Not because she was guilty, but because she was overwhelmed with shame, with fear, with the cruel irony of destiny dragging her into Beckham's path after all these years, only to deliver her to him in the worst possible light. Liam smirked. See? She can't even defend herself. Beckham's jaw tightened. I didn't ask for commentary. I asked for facts. Then, turning to the front desk security guard, where is the lobby surveillance feed stored? The guard blinked rapidly. The room behind reception, sir. Good, Beckham said. Bring it up. Right now. Liam blanched. Sir, there's no need, we don't have to. I said now. And just like that, the hierarchy of the room flipped. Liam's arrogance evaporated. Employees exchanged glances, some nervous, some thrilled. Everyone loved a good live-action justice moment. Emily took a step backward toward her cleaning cart, wanting to vanish. Beckham noticed. You can stay, he said softly, almost gently. You deserve to know the truth. The security guard hustled to the back room, the clicking of his shoes echoing nervously. A minute later, the lobby's large digital screen flickered to life. Liam swallowed audibly as the footage rewound. Employees leaned over railings and staircases like spectators in an amphitheater. Then the moment appeared. Liam walking down the hall with a steaming cup of coffee, looking at his phone, not paying attention. He bumped the corner of the display desk. The coffee splashed, an ugly brown stain spreading over the briefing documents. Liam panicked, looking around. Then, seeing Emily entering the lobby with a mop, he smirked and placed the coffee cup near her cart before walking away briskly. Beckham didn't move, didn't blink, didn't even exhale. The room buzzed with disbelief. Emily's hands flew to her mouth. Liam's face drained of color. Beckham finally spoke. Come. Controlled, too controlled. So, Beckham said, turning slightly toward Liam, you lied. Liam floundered. Sir, it was just a misunderstanding. I was trying to. No, Beckham's voice cut the air like a blade. Misunderstandings are accidents. What you did was deliberate. Emily felt tears sting her eyes, not from sadness but from the weight of the moment, being defended by a man who didn't even know he was defending a memory from his own past. Beckham stepped toward Liam. You publicly humiliated an employee. You used your authority to hide your mistake. And you attempted to manipulate the narrative in front of your peers. Emily knew that tone. Everyone did. It was the tone Beckham used when he was about to take action, on or off the field. Effective immediately, Beckham said, you are suspended until further review. A collective gasp rippled through the lobby. Liam sputtered, Sir, you can't be serious. Do you want me to repeat myself? Beckham asked, raising one eyebrow. Liam silenced. Beckham turned to Emily now for the first time with real, focused attention. His gaze softened, no longer the sharp laser used on Liam, but warm, steady, searching. I'm sorry you had to go through that, he said quietly. Emily froze. That voice, that familiar British timbre. It pulled old memories she had buried deep under years of life's weight. Thank you, she whispered, struggling to keep her tone steady. Sir? Beckham's eyes narrowed subtly, not in suspicion, just curiosity. Something about the way she said it felt familiar. Something in the cadence, the softness, the almost broken bravery. But no, that was impossible. The girl he had once known was gone from his life decades ago. Beckham nodded respectfully. If anything like this happens again, you come directly to HR. Or to me. Emily swallowed hard. I will. Beckham stepped back. Good. Then let's get back to work, everyone. The crowd scattered quickly, returning to desks like students after a stern principal speech. Liam walked out stiffly, jaw clenched, barely holding together his rage and humiliation. Emily remained still for a moment, her heart pounding like thunder inside her chest. Beckham glanced at her once more before heading toward the elevators. A flicker of recognition nudged the back of his mind, but it disappeared just as fast. He didn't know, and she prayed he never would. But destiny wasn't done. Beckham rode up to the top floor, where the executive offices overlooked the city skyline. He walked down the hall, greeted by team leads and division heads with hurried politeness. He entered the conference room where his business partner, Jordan Reyes, was waiting. You're late, Jordan teased. Everything okay downstairs? Beckham sighed, shrugging off his coat. Ran into an abuse of authority situation. Jordan's eyebrows arched. Again? Different manager, Beckham said. Same problem. Jordan placed his coffee down. You can't keep doing the rounds yourself, David. This is what the HR department is for. David shook his head. You can't delegate culture. You have to see it. Jordan chuckled. Still the same idealist. David shrugged. Still trying. They sat. The meeting began. But Beckham's mind drifted back to her face. Something had unsettled him. Something in the way she stood. The way her eyes darted away. The way her voice trembled on the word sir, as if she had spoken that tone to him once before. Ridiculous, he thought. Life didn't work like that. People didn't just reappear. Meanwhile, Emily fled to the janitor's closet on the 3rd floor. She closed the door behind her and leaned back against it, pressing a hand to her chest. Her breath shook. She hadn't seen Beckham in almost 20 years. He had been her dream once. Her first everything. First love, first heartbreak, first promise made under cheap cafe lights on a chilly Manchester evening when he swore he would return for her. But he never did, and she never blamed him. Life had pushed them into different orbits. Now here he was again, wealthy, powerful, polished. The world on his shoulders. And she? A janitor. A woman sweeping floors in a corporate tower far more glamorous than her life. She pulled out a small velvet pouch from her pocket. Inside lay a silver star-shaped pendant, tarnished around the edges. The necklace he gave her the day they said goodbye. She had meant to throw it away a dozen times, but never could. She whispered to herself, please don't recognize me. Please. Because what would he think? Emily Turner, once his bright-eyed teenage sweetheart, now scrubbing off his floors? She shook her head and tucked the necklace away. He helped me because he's kind, not because of the past. She convinced herself of that. She needed to. Emily wiped her tears and returned to work, determined not to cross paths with Beckham again. But fate, amused by her attempt at control, had other plans. Later that afternoon, Beckham stepped outside to take a call. The lobby was busier now, employees filling out after lunch. He almost walked past Emily, who was cleaning the handrails near the elevator. Almost. He paused. Something tugged at him again. "You okay?" he asked, lowering his phone slightly. Emily stiffened. "Yes. Thank you, sir." "You don't have to call me sir. David is fine." She forced a smile. I'd prefer to keep it professional." David nodded, respecting her boundaries. But now he was watching her more closely, not with recognition but with curiosity. "You handled yourself well earlier," he said. "I didn't handle anything," she murmured. "You didn't lose your temper. That shows strength." Emily looked away. "Maybe I just got used to people yelling." Beckham frowned at that. Something about the statement bothered him deeply. "You shouldn't have to be," he said. Emily didn't reply. David continued, "If you ever want to move to a different department, training, administration, let me know. We offer internal development programs. You're clearly capable." "Please don't," she cut in gently. Beckham blinked. "Don't what?" "Don't be kind to me," she whispered. "It makes things harder." Beckham stared at her, confused, intrigued, a little troubled. But Emily stepped back, gripping her cleaning cart like it was the only stable thing she had. "I have to get back to work," she said softly. He let her go. But something lingered in the air between them. Something old. Something unsaid. David turned away slowly, lifting his phone again, but he didn't resume his call for several seconds. He was thinking far too much about a woman he couldn't possibly have known. Hours later, after the workday ended, Beckham stood in the darkened boardroom overlooking the Los Angeles skyline. The city lights sparkled like stars thrown across the earth. Jordan entered quietly. "Everything okay? You've been staring out that window for 20 minutes." Beckham exhaled. "Do you ever feel like you've met someone before? Someone you shouldn't recognize, but something about them just sticks?" Jordan laughed. "Are we talking about business or personal matters?" "Neither," Beckham said, though he wasn't convinced. Jordan leaned against the table. "The janitor from earlier?" Beckham didn't answer. He didn't need to. Jordan smirked. "You're curious? Just ask her." "It isn't my place," Beckham said. "That never stopped you before." David sighed heavily. "This feels different." Jordan watched him for a moment, then placed a hand on Beckham's shoulder. "Maybe she reminds you of someone?" Beckham murmured, almost to himself, "Yeah, maybe." He left shortly after, descending the glass elevator alone. The lobby was empty now. Quiet. Emily's cleaning cart was gone. But one small fragment of paper lay near the entrance, a fragment she had dropped unknowingly. Beckham bent to pick it up. It was an old receipt, from a thrift store, dated a few days earlier, for laundry detergent and a discount t-shirt. Simple. Modest. A quiet life. He folded the slip gently, and realized he cared far more than he should. That night, as he sat in his car preparing to drive home, he whispered a sentence he didn't understand. "I swear I've known her." But he shook the feeling away. Because chapter 1 was only the beginning. Because destiny was already turning its gears. Because the next time Emily crossed Beckham's path, it would not be by accident. Emily Turner arrived for her next shift before dawn. The sky was still a muted gray, the kind of quiet color that looked like it was holding its breath. She liked coming in early, when the building was empty and the world felt softer. When no one was shouting. When she didn't have to brace herself for another accusation or another conflict with managers like Liam. She clocked in, tied her hair back, and grabbed her cleaning cart. She didn't want to see Beckham again. Not after yesterday. Not after the humiliation, the rescue, and the strange fragile thread of connection that tugged at her every time she replayed the moment in her mind. She whispered privately, "Please let today be simple. Please." But fate had never once listened to her prayers. David Beckham woke earlier than usual too. He couldn't stop thinking about the janitor, Emily. He didn't know her. He told himself that all morning. He wasn't some teenager clinging to nostalgia or fantasy. He was a grown man, a successful businessman, a public figure, a leader. He had hundreds of employees, dozens of projects, meetings stacked like dominoes waiting to fall. But during breakfast, he caught himself staring at the steam rising from his mug, wondering why a stranger's face lingered in his mind longer than it should. Jordan's words replayed. "Maybe she reminds you of someone." He almost scoffed. "Sure, maybe." Or maybe, no, impossible. She was gone from his life. Long gone. The girl he once knew would be living a very different existence than the woman he saw yesterday. Yet the feeling remained. A quiet, aching whisper. You know her. Beckham shook it off, dressed sharply, and decided to stop by the office earlier than usual. He wanted to see how the morning shift operated. He absolutely did not want to see her. At least that's what he told himself. Emily had just finished wiping the chrome railing near the main staircase when she heard a voice behind her. You're here early. Her heart stuttered. Beckham. She kept her back turned, hoping he'd walk away. Early shift today, sir. I told you, he said gently. You don't have to call me sir. I prefer it, she replied quickly, still refusing to look at him. Beckham stepped around her cleaning cart so he could see her face. She stiffened but didn't step back. She refused to let herself tremble again. Not today. Not after spending the entire night convincing herself that the past didn't matter. You're shaking, Beckham said softly. Emily's fingers tightened around the handle of the mop. It's just cold. It's 75 degrees in here. Emily cursed silently. Why did he always notice too much? Why couldn't he be like other executives? Aloof, distracted, uninterested? She inhaled sharply. I'm fine. Beckham didn't press further, but something in his gaze sharpened. Like he was studying her, not for recognition, but for contradictions. For invisible bruises. For invisible history. He finally said, I checked the file on that manager last night. Liam has a record of complaints. Small ones, but consistent enough to worry HR. Thank you for unintentionally bringing it to my attention. Emily shook her head quickly. I didn't bring anything to your attention. You did by being the target, Beckham replied. The simplicity of his statement hit her unexpectedly hard. She dropped her gaze to the floor. Beckham softened his tone. I know you didn't want that confrontation yesterday. I know it put you in an uncomfortable place. But it revealed a truth we needed to see. Emily whispered, Sometimes I wish people wouldn't notice me at all. Beckham's brows pulled together. Why? She regretted saying it immediately. He was too observant, too empathetic, too much like the boy she once loved. She forced a small, polite smile. Never mind. It's silly. Beckham didn't believe her, but he let her go. All right, he said gently. Have a good shift. She nodded and returned to mopping. Beckham walked away slowly, hands in his pockets. But he didn't get far, because that was when trouble found her again. Around 9 a.m., as employees filled the lobby with coffee cups and chatter, a sudden yell cut through the space. Who left chemicals spilled all over the west hallway? Someone could have been seriously injured. The voice belonged to Denise Maxwell, a strict, no-nonsense floor supervisor. Known for firing people as easily as she breathed. Employees turned. Eyes landed on Emily, who was pushing her cart toward the hallway. Denise pointed at her like a prosecutor. Did you leave the cleaning solution on the ground? A junior associate slipped and almost broke her arm. Emily froze. No, I didn't clean that hallway yet. You expect me to believe that? Denise snapped. How convenient that you show up right as I find the mess. It wasn't me, Emily said louder this time, but her voice still quivered. Someone in the crowd whispered, Isn't that the janitor who was accused yesterday? Emily's chest tightened. Not again. Please, not again. Denise stepped closer, tightening the trap. Every time there's a problem, it's somehow connected to you. You're either careless or you're sabotaging the workspace. Either way, you're a liability. The humiliation burned through Emily's cheeks. I would never sabotage anything. Well, we'll check the cameras, Denise snapped. But until then, you're suspended from the West Wing. And HR will schedule a meeting with you today. No excuses. Emily's throat closed up. It wasn't fair. She hadn't done anything. She had only been trying to survive her shift without drawing attention. But attention always found her. Employees murmured. Some sympathetic. Some judgmental. Most curious. Gossip moved fast in corporate towers. Emily's eyes stung. She whispered, It wasn't me, but no one heard. Except one person. A voice cut through the murmurs like a blade. That's enough, Denise. Beckham. Every head snapped toward him. He walked forward with calm, controlled precision. Not angry, not loud, but radiating authority in a way that made Denise step back involuntarily. Beckham stopped beside Emily and looked Denise straight in the eye. Did you check the cameras? Well, I was going to. Then why accuse her beforehand? Denise stiffened. Sir, we have protocols. There was a spill. Someone slipped. She's the janitor on duty. That doesn't make her guilty, Beckham said. Unless you believe in punishing based on assumptions instead of evidence. Denise swallowed. Of course not. Then follow protocol, Beckham said sharply. Check the footage. Employees exchanged looks again. The déjà vu of yesterday flooded the air. Someone whispered, "Is this becoming a pattern?" Another murmured, "Why is she always getting blamed?" Denise shot the crowd a warning glare before turning to Beckham. "We'll check the cameras, sir." Beckham replied, "Good. Let's do it now." Denise hesitated. "Sir, I don't think." "That wasn't a suggestion," Beckham cut in. The entire lobby inhaled. Beckham turned to Emily and spoke softly. "You're coming with us." Emily's eyes widened. I don't." "You're not going to be blamed behind closed doors," Beckham said gently. "You deserve transparency." His words made her feel seen, and somehow even more vulnerable. They walked to the security room together. Denise looked increasingly uncomfortable, sweating through her blouse. The head of security pulled up the hallway camera feed. There, on the grainy footage, was the truth. Another janitor, Ethan, had knocked over the chemical cart while rushing to finish his work early. He panicked, wiped some of it half-heartedly, then sprinted away before anyone saw. Later, he passed Emily in the main lobby as if nothing had happened. The room fell silent. Denise's face crumpled. I didn't know." "You didn't check," Beckham said. Controlled, but deeply disappointed. Emily stood frozen in place, heart pounding, relief mixing with exhaustion. Denise tried. "This was an honest mistake." "No," Beckham said firmly. "A mistake is tripping on stairs. A mistake is misplacing your badge. What you did was an accusation built on bias." Emily closed her eyes. She hated being the reason for conflict. Beckham's voice dropped, sharp as steel. "Emily is not your scapegoat." Denise looked at Emily, shame creeping across her features. I apologize." Emily nodded stiffly, unable to trust her voice. Beckham added, "Effective immediately, you are relieved of your authority over janitorial staff until HR reviews your management conduct." Denise gasped. "Sir?" Beckham's stare hardened. "Dismissed." Denise left the room trembling. Emily whispered, "You didn't have to do that." "Yes," Beckham said quietly. "I did." Emily turned her head away, overwhelmed again. "Why do people keep blaming you?" Beckham asked softly, too softly, almost as if it pained him. "I don't know," she whispered. "I really don't." Beckham studied her for a long moment. Something about her sadness stirred something old inside him. Something buried. Something familiar. He took a slow breath. "Emily, have we met before?" Her heart nearly stopped. No. She forced a laugh that hurt her throat. "No, sir. No." Beckham tilted his head slightly. "Are you sure?" "Yes," she insisted. "I'm sure." He didn't believe her. Not entirely. But he didn't push. Instead he said, "You're stronger than you think." The words hit her straight in the soul. She bit her lip. "Please, don't say things like that." "Why not?" "Because they make me want to believe them." Beckham's breath caught. He opened his mouth to respond, but a sudden shout echoed from the hallway. "We've got an emergency in the reception lounge." Emily and Beckham both turned sharply. Another problem? Another false accusation? Another twist of fate pulling them together? Beckham looked at her. Emily looked at him. Neither said it aloud, but both felt it. Destiny wasn't finished. Not even close. And the third misunderstanding would change everything. Emily rushed toward the reception lounge, clutching her cleaning cloth, praying silently that whatever the emergency was, it had nothing to do with her. But fate, cruel with repetition, had prepared another blow. A cluster of employees crowded outside the lounge, whispering feverishly. A thick tension rippled through them like the pressure before a storm. When they saw Emily approaching, the whispers sharpened. "That's her. Again? She's always near something bad happening. Maybe she's cursed." Emily swallowed, bracing herself as she pushed through the final layer of people and stepped inside. Her breath caught. A priceless glass sculpture, an abstract piece imported from an elite NYC artist, lay shattered across the marble floor. Thousands of glittering fragments spread across the room like a frozen explosion. The kind of artwork that cost more than her entire salary for a decade. A security guard stood in the corner, arms tightly crossed. A senior manager, Mr. Hawkins, paced aggressively beside the broken sculpture, face red and furious. The moment he saw her, he stiffened. "You," he barked. Emily froze. "And me?" Yes, you? He strode toward her like a predator. You were seen pushing your cart through this hallway minutes before the sculpture fell. Emily blinked hard. Sir, I wasn't even near. Enough. Hawkins snapped. You're the only janitor assigned to this floor this morning. That doesn't mean. You were cleaning the railing outside, Hawkins said, jabbing a finger toward her. Your mop bucket wheels likely loosened the pedestal. The sculpture fell because of your carelessness. Emily felt the air thicken in her chest. Sir, I never touched the pedestal. Don't lie. Hawkins bellowed. The crowd winced at the volume. Emily pressed her lips together, trembling. She felt like she was standing on a cliff edge, one push away from losing everything. Her job, her dignity, the fragile stability she'd fought desperately to keep. Hawkins spun toward the security guard. She's suspended immediately. HR will fill out the termination papers. Gasps filled the lounge. Emily's throat constricted. A wave of heat surged through her head and chest. She whispered, Please? I didn't do this. Hawkins scoffed. You think your word matters more than the evidence? There's no one else to blame. The injustice hit her like a blow. Something inside her broke. I didn't do this, she repeated, louder, rawer, voice cracking against the walls. Why does everyone think, every single time, why me? Hawkins rolled his eyes. Save your emotional theatrics. Emily staggered backward. The whispers around her grew louder, like a storm swallowing her. And then the room shifted. The air changed. Every head turned. David Beckham stepped inside the lounge. His expression was unreadable, cool, steady, but his jaw was set in a line that warned everyone in the room that their words, actions, and intent mattered now more than ever. Hawkins straightened suddenly, clearing his throat. Mr. Beckham, sir. I was just addressing a workplace incident. Were you? Beckham asked, voice calm, too calm. Or were you making another accusation without evidence? Sir, with all due respect, this woman is clearly... Beckham raised one hand slightly. Hawkins' voice died instantly. Before you say something you can't take back, Beckham said, let's examine the facts. He walked closer to Emily. Close enough to see the tears she was desperately trying to fight back. Close enough to see how tightly she clutched the edge of her cleaning cart. Close enough to feel that same unsettling familiarity he had been trying to ignore for days. Emily, he said softly, what happened? She shook her head helplessly. I don't know. I wasn't here. I just got off the elevator. Beckham nodded. He believed her instantly, instinctively, unconditionally. It unsettled him how easily trust came with her. He turned to the crowd. Who witnessed the sculpture falling? Silence. No one spoke. No one stepped forward. Hawkins' mouth tightened. No one saw it fall. But she was nearby. So you're accusing her based on proximity? Beckham asked, raising one eyebrow. That's your standard for guilt? Well, someone must be responsible, Hawkins muttered. And you chose her. Beckham's tone cooled. Hawkins hesitated, sensing the trap. She's had several issues lately. She's had several people falsely accuse her lately, Beckham corrected. A flicker of whispers filled the room. Beckham glanced at the security guard. Where's the lounge footage? The guard shifted uncomfortably. Sir, the camera in this room has been malfunctioning. Maintenance was supposed to fix it last week. How convenient, Beckham murmured. Hawkins stiffened. Meaning what exactly, sir? Meaning, Beckham said, you have no proof of anything. Hawkins clenched his jaw. We have circumstantial. Circumstances don't fire employees, Beckham interrupted sharply. Facts do. Emily felt the pressure in her chest loosen slightly, but the fear didn't disappear. She could still lose her job, her income, her fragile stability. Beckham walked around the pedestal remains, scanning the floor with the trained instinct of someone who spent decades reading the fine details on a soccer field. The way grass bent, the direction a ball would spin based on the slightest touch. He noticed something the others had not. Tiny scratches. Marks. A sliding pattern. He crouched down slowly, touching the floor near the edge where the pedestal had been. These marks, he murmured. They were caused by something heavy being dragged. A soft wave of murmurs spread. Hawkins frowned. What are you implying? Beckham stood slowly. This pedestal wasn't knocked over by a bump from a mop bucket. It was moved deliberately. Someone dragged it. Emily's breath hitched. Hawkins' face flushed. That's ridiculous. Is it? Beckham asked coolly. Because a mop bucket would create curved, inconsistent marks. These marks are straight, parallel, controlled. He turned to the security guard. Pull footage from the hallway outside the lounge. The guard rushed off. Beckham looked at Emily again. Something in his expression softened. Not pity, but recognition of her pain, the constant fear she tried to hide. She whispered shakily, "Thank you?" He nodded once, the gesture small but significant. Minutes later, the security guard returned and pulled up the hallway feed on a tablet. Collective gasps filled the room. The footage showed Ethan, the same janitor who caused the chemical spill earlier, dragging the pedestal while looking over his shoulder, panicked. He pushed it slightly off balance, then ran. Hawkins paled. Emily's knees nearly buckled. Beckham exhaled slowly, a breath full of cold anger. Emily didn't do this. The room went silent. Hawkins stammered, I didn't know. You didn't check, Beckham said, voice sharp as cut glass. Just like yesterday. Just like this morning. You blamed the most vulnerable employee because it was convenient. Hawkins swallowed hard. Sir, this isn't like me. I made a mistake. No, Beckham said. This wasn't a mistake. This was a pattern. He turned to Emily. You're not suspended. You're not under review. You're not at fault. Emily's eyes filled with tears she tried desperately to hold back. Then Beckham turned to Hawkins, his voice rising, not loud but powerful enough to shake the room. Effective immediately, you are suspended. HR will evaluate whether you should remain in this company at all. Hawkins' mouth fell open. Sir, please? Dismissed. Hawkins slunk away, humiliation dripping from every movement. Employees parted for him like he was contagious. When the room was quiet again, Beckham looked at Emily. She looked like she was about to collapse. Come with me, he said gently. I can't, she whispered. I have work. You've been through enough for one day. His tone was so firm, so unarguable that she didn't try to fight it again. She followed him out of the lounge quietly. They walked down the corridor until Beckham stopped at a small break room, empty at this hour. He motioned for her to sit. She hesitated, then did. Beckham sat across from her, elbows on the table, studying her with a kind of intensity that made her heart unsteady. Why are people targeting you? He asked softly. She looked down at her hands. I don't know. Do you feel safe here? Emily didn't answer. Beckham leaned forward slightly. Emily, what aren't you telling me? Her breath hitched. Nothing. Are you being bullied? Are other managers treating you unfairly? She shook her head too quickly. He frowned. You're lying. Her eyes widened, not at the accusation, but at how impossible it felt to lie to him. She whispered, Why do you care so much? Beckham paused. Really paused. He didn't know how to explain it. That she felt familiar. That she stirred old memories. That he sensed a ghost of something he lost long ago. Finally, he said, Because you don't deserve any of what's happening. Because no one should feel unsafe at their job. And he hesitated. Because something about you feels important. Her heart hammered so hard she thought it might break her ribs. He continued softly, Every time I look at you, I feel like I'm searching for something. Like there's a memory tugging at me. Like I've seen you, somewhere. Emily's breath trembled. He was too close to the truth. She shook her head, forcing a small laugh. You're imagining things. Am I? Yes, she whispered. You are. He searched her eyes desperately. Emily, are you sure we've never met? Absolutely sure, she whispered, voice cracking. Beckham leaned back slowly, studying her, confusion tightening his brow. She couldn't bear it. She stood abruptly. I should go. Emily, please don't follow me. She didn't wait for an answer. She walked out quickly, tears burning her vision. Beckham didn't chase her. But he didn't stop thinking about her either. Not for a second. Later that evening, as Beckham prepared to leave the office, something caught his eye near the security desk. A lost item tray. He almost ignored it. But then he saw something silver glinting under the fluorescent light. A small star-shaped pendant. His heart stopped. No, it couldn't be. He picked it up gently, turning it in his fingers. He knew this piece of jewelry. He had bought it for a girl when he was 17. A girl who had cried when he gave it to her. A girl who had promised she'd never take it off. A girl he had loved fiercely, before football took him away, before fame swallowed him whole, before life changed them both. He whispered her name aloud for the first time in decades. Emily. His chest tightened painfully. His breath shortened. His world shifted. And he knew without a doubt, he had just defended, protected, and stood beside the woman he once loved, the woman he lost, the woman who stood right in front of him, and lied to protect her heart. Beckham closed his fist around the pendant. Tomorrow everything would change. Because destiny hadn't just brought Emily back. It had handed Beckham the key to the truth. And he was finally ready to open the door. David Beckham didn't sleep that night. Not a minute. The silver star pendant lay on his desk, reflecting the soft glow of the lamp. A tiny necklace, worn at the corners, the chain slightly bent, aged by time but unmistakably the same one he had given her when they were 17. He held it between his fingertips as if afraid it might disappear. As if afraid this was another beautiful memory he would wake up from. His voice was barely a whisper in the empty room. "Emily, why didn't you tell me?" The question lingered in the air, unanswered. He replayed every moment from the past 2 days. The tremble in her voice. The way she avoided his eyes. The way she flinched whenever someone accused her. The quiet strength in her spine even when she was cornered. Was all there. All the signs of someone protecting herself. All the signs of someone hiding. And now he knew why. They had loved each other, once. And she had been standing in front of him the whole time. He pressed his thumb over the tiny star, feeling its shape the way he once had against her skin. There was no question now. Tomorrow he would talk to her. He would look her in the eyes. He would ask her why she hid from him. He would ask her why she had done this alone for so long. He would ask her why she let him stand so close, while pretending they were strangers. But more than anything, he would tell her that he never stopped caring. Not truly. Not in the way that mattered. He placed the pendant gently into his coat pocket. Tomorrow everything would unfold. The next morning, Emily walked into the building with the sensation that the ground beneath her was fragile, like one wrong step might send her falling through. She'd spent most of last night trying not to cry, trying not to think about Beckham's intensity, trying not to think about the possibility that he might be getting close to knowing the truth. She couldn't let that happen. She couldn't let him see who she became, what life had turned her into. Their worlds were too different now. His an empire, hers a struggle to survive. If he knew the truth, he would look at her differently. She didn't think she could bear that. So she walked in quietly, head down, hoping to make it through her shift without another confrontation. But fate had different plans. It always did. She turned the corner into the main lobby and froze. A confrontation already waited for her. Liam Carter. The disgraced manager Beckham had suspended. He wasn't supposed to be here. HR had escorted him out. His badge was deactivated. Yet there he stood, red-faced, trembling with anger, his hands balled into fists. Employees around him whispered nervously, unsure if they should intervene or call security. And Emily realized with mounting dread, he was waiting specifically for her. "There you are," Liam spat, stepping toward her. Emily froze. "You're not supposed to be." "Oh, don't you dare," he growled. "Don't you dare act innocent." His voice rose, sharp and accusing. "You destroyed my career. Mr. Carter, please." "Shut up," he roared. Everyone gasped. Several employees backed away. Emily's chest tightened with fear. Fear she had swallowed for days, fear she had buried under duty and quiet resilience. Liam slammed a folder onto the front desk counter, papers spilling everywhere. "Do you know what HR told me? That I abused my position. That I fabricated accusations. That I created a hostile environment." His voice shook with rage. "All because of you." "It wasn't because of me," Emily whispered. "It was because of what you did." Wrong answer. He lunged toward her. She stumbled backward, heart racing. Security guards ran toward them, but Liam grabbed her arm before they arrived, his grip harsh and painful. "People like you ruin everything," he hissed. "You played the victim, didn't you? You fooled everyone into believing your fake innocence. You let her go." The voice cut through the tension like a blade. Instant silence. David Beckham stepped into the lobby, the air shifting around him. His posture was controlled, but his eyes, God, his eyes, held a storm. Liam froze. Beckham walked forward slowly, every step measured, deliberate, lethal in its calmness. "Take your hands off of her." Liam released her instantly, stumbling back. "Mr. Beckham, sir, this is a misunderstanding." "No," Beckham said, voice low, controlled steel. "This is the final line you've crossed." He glanced at the security team. "Escort him out. Permanently. The board will be informed he is banned from all company property." The guard seized Liam by the arms. He protested, shouted, tried to twist free, but there was no mercy left for him. Not from the company, not from the employees whose respect he'd lost, and definitely not from Beckham. As they dragged him away, he yelled, "She ruined me. You'll regret supporting her. She's manipulating you." Beckham stepped forward, a subtle shift that silenced Liam instantly. "Leave," he said. One word, enough to end everything. The guards pulled Liam out the door. Silence washed over the lobby. Emily stood shaking, gripping her wrist where Liam had grabbed her. Beckham approached her slowly. "Are you all right?" She nodded, but her voice didn't come. "Not yet." He noticed the red marks on her arm. "Did he hurt you?" "No," she whispered. "No, I'm just tired." Beckham hesitated. "Then, Emily, we need to talk." Her heartbeat rattled in her chest. "About what?" He slipped his hand into his coat pocket. Her breath stopped. He pulled out the silver star pendant. Emily's world tilted. "I found this last night," Beckham said softly. "In the lost and found." She stared at the necklace as if it were a ghost she had been running from. Her eyes burned with tears she tried desperately to hide. Beckham's voice broke the silence. Gentle, achingly familiar. "This is yours, isn't it?" She couldn't answer. Not with words. Her silence was enough. A tremor passed through his breath. "Emily, why didn't you tell me who you were?" She shook her head, stepping back, eyes flooding. "Because it didn't matter anymore. Because you're you. And I'm..." He stepped closer. "You're the girl I never stopped caring about." Emily's tears spilled. "Don't say that. It's the truth." "No," she whispered, choking. "You don't know what my life became. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how hard it's been to survive. I didn't want you to see me like this." Beckham stared at her, heart twisting. "Emily, look at me." She didn't. He gently placed the pendant into her hand, curling her fingers around it. "When I gave you this," he said softly, "I thought I'd lost you forever." Emily sobbed silently. "And when I saw you here," he paused, voice trembling, "I felt something familiar, something I didn't understand, something that pulled me toward you without reason." She covered her mouth, trying to stop the sobs. "You protected yourself," Beckham continued. "You hid your name, your past, your heart, and I understand why." Emily looked up at him, eyes swollen. "I didn't want pity." "You don't deserve pity," Beckham said gently. "You deserve respect. You deserve safety. You deserve someone who stands beside you when the world tries to crush you." Her knees weakened. He steadied her with a touch. Their eyes met, and the years between them collapsed. 10, 15, 20 years of distance pulled tight like a string snapping under pressure. But Emily still whispered, "Your world is different from mine." "Maybe," Beckham said, "but I know where I want to stand." She stared at him, breath broken, heart shaking. "Right here," he whispered. "With you." Employees around the lobby watched, stunned, whispering in disbelief as the truth unfolded in front of them. Beckham finally said the question that had been buried inside him for years. "Emily Turner, why did you really leave back then?" She closed her eyes, tears pouring freely. "Because I didn't want to hold you back. Because you were destined for the world. And I was just me." He shook his head slowly. "I didn't want the world. I wanted you." A sob escaped her. He cupped her face gently, wiping her tears with his thumb. "And I still do." At that, her strength broke. She threw her arms around him, burying her face into his chest, crying for all the years they lost, all the pain she carried, all the love she never allowed herself to remember. Beckham held her tightly, like he had been waiting his entire life to hold her again. A soft wave of whispers filled the lobby. "Oh my God. They knew each other? This is like a movie. Is she his first love? No way." Emily pulled back slowly, embarrassed. "Everyone is watching." He smiled softly, smoothing her hair. "Let them. They've been watching the wrong story all along." She laughed through her tears. He whispered, "I should have recognized you. I'm sorry." She shook her head. "No, I hid from you. You didn't fail me. I failed us." Beckham lifted her chin. "You never failed me." Silence wrapped around them, heavy, emotional, full of 1,000 unspoken memories. After a long moment, Beckham turned to the employees gathered around them. His voice was warm, steady. "This woman," he said, "is one of the strongest people I've ever known. And I'm proud she's part of this company." Some employees clapped gently. Others looked moved. A few wiped away tears. Emily blushed, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear as she tried to compose herself. Beckham looked at her again. "I don't want you to hide anymore." She nodded slowly. "I don't want to run anymore." He held her hand gently, not romantic, not possessive, but grounding. "Human. Real." "Then don't," he whispered. Emily squeezed his hand back. And in that simple gesture, the years they lost scattered like the broken sculpture on the lounge floor, but their future began to assemble itself, piece by piece. Not in the grandeur of fame, not in the shadows of regret, but in the quiet return of two souls who were always meant to find each other again. As Beckham walked her toward the elevator, employees parted respectfully. Emily felt exposed but also, somehow, lighter than she had in years. Beckham pressed the elevator button. Before the doors opened, he said softly, "Emily?" "Yes." "I'm not letting you disappear again." Her heart fluttered. She whispered, "I won't." The elevator doors slid open. They stepped inside together. Just before they closed, Beckham looked toward the lobby and said quietly, "Meant for everyone and no one." Sometimes, life brings someone back at the exact moment you're finally ready to see them. The doors closed. Fade out. And the story of David Beckham and Emily Turner, the first love that never died, finally came full circle.